Today we're talking about the Moors and where they originated from and where did the name Moor come from. Now, it's a lot of misinformation on the internet talking about what they think a Moor is and where they think the Moors came from. A lot of it is false and wrong. Now, the Arabian Bible, if you learn Arabic, you would understand where the Moors came from and who were the ancient Moors as well, where they migrated from. It distinctly says who they were and where they went. Now, unfortunately, we're still dealing with some of the remnants of colonialism, where they were whitewashing a lot of African history, African and Afro-Asiatic history, Black history. So we're still trying to reveal the truth and the facts on a lot of things still to this day, because they're still covering up that is occurring. But the Moors, it was an ancient word that goes all the way back before the Common Era. It's also a word that evolved over time, from being a word that was used strictly for the Berbers of Morocco to becoming a blanket word for all people of African descent. The word Moor came from the Maori tribe of what is now called Morocco. This tribe identified themselves as the Maori, and that was the beginning of this word. The word Moor was a derivative that was created. The original Berbers, quote-unquote black-skinned people of Morocco, originated in Central Arabia near the Yemen. In ancient times, there were multiple migrations that occurred from the ancient Arabs, aka Afro-Arabs, Black Arabs, the original Arabs, going over to the region known as Morocco. Tribes known as the Azd Berbers and the Tuareg Berbers are a few of the 5 tribes that migrated to Morocco from Central Arabia. The Arabian Bible has documented these tribes extensively. What was unique about these 2 tribes is that the Tuareg were on average 7 feet tall, black skin, and the Azd were on average 8 feet tall, black skin, quote unquote. Now, there were 2 waves of Moors. The first arrived thousands of years before the Common Era in Morocco and were known for the white slave trade, in which they were enslaving Europeans by the millions and bringing them back over to North Africa, which has a lot to do with why to this day there are a lot of lighter-skinned North Africans inhabiting those areas of North Africa, accompanied with a lot of the Eurasian influx that occurred also in modern times. A side note, there were also Afro-Arabs located in Arabia that were also enslaving Europeans and partaking in the white slave trade also, and they were bringing them back to Arabia, which was lightening up that area as well over time, along with Eurasians that influxed that area as well. Back to the Moors, the second wave of Moors were the ones that are more talked about in modern times from Morocco. They created the Moorish Empire and were part of the Islamic religion, and they invaded and ruled Southern Europe and various parts of Eastern Europe from 711 Common Era to 1492 Common Era, or AD, whichever you prefer. So to recap, the word Moor originated as Mari for the Berbers that were in the region now called Morocco. Then the word changed to Moor, which was for the Islamic African peoples, a blanket term for them. Then the word evolved even more into a blanket word for all people of African descent. And this word was coming from Europeans in reference to the African descent people that they were coming in contact with. There's been a lot of wrong information on the true origin of the Moors and where the term originated. That's because the word has withstood a lot of different timelines and record keepers. The word was also always affiliated with people of African or Arab descent, Afro-Arab, the Black Arabs, the original Arabs. There are plenty of European sources that confirm these origins, and there is plenty of Middle-aged artwork and statues in Europe currently and monuments in Europe currently that shows this fact about the Moors and their archetype. Now, were you taught a different perspective? Were you even aware of the Moors' impact on society? The Moorish Empire was bigger than the Egyptian Empire at one time, and they were responsible for bringing educational institutions to Europe, as well as astrology, science, math, and advanced levels of hygiene, etc. They are also the reason why in Spain and Italy, Portugal, they have a fixed-in mulatto class because of all of the mixing that occurred when the Moors were over there in that area of Europe. This is Taj's Empowerment Channel.